Good morning, everyone. This side Dr. Rubina Bano, Assistant Professor in Department of Management Sciences in Technia Institute of Advanced Studies. Today, I'm going to explain the topic strategic management process. Now, what is it? Strategic management is an essential component of a business success and it involves setting a direction for a company and guiding it towards its objectives. So the strategic management process constitutes of a steps designed to identify and implement strategies to help a company objectives and its goal. The strategic management process is not linear but a cyclical in nature because each steps provide the information that feeds into the other steps, making adjustments as necessary. So the first step of the strategic management process is what that is establishment of the strategic intent. Now, which covers the missions and the objectives, which is a foundational step that lays the groundwork for all the future strategic decisions. Mission. The mission statement concisely explains the organization reasons for the existence, which describes what the organization does, whom it serves, and how it is different from the similar organization. So, a well-crafted mission statement gives the employees a clear direction that helps the customers and the stakeholders understand the organization purpose. So, here are the few characteristics of the effective mission statements. Number one, the customer oriented, because this describes the company's purpose in the terms of the values or the benefits which provides to the customers rather than describing its product or services. Second, motivating. So they inspire employees and give them a sense of purpose. Second, the distinctive, they make it clear how the company stands apart from its competitors. For example, Google's mission statement is to organize the words information and make it universally accessible and useful. So this explains what that the Google does organize information, yes, whom it serves the whole world, and the what it makes unique that making information universally accessible and useful. Now, the objectives. The objectives are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and the time bound, which means we called as a SMART goals that the organization sets to guide its effort and to provide the benchmarks for assessing the performance. Objectives should align with the company's missions and the vision. So they could relate to the various areas like the sales, customer services, product development, market shares, etc. For the instance, a company might want to increase the sales by the 10% over the next 12 months. So the objectives serve the multiple direction. They provide the direction to the organization and help align the efforts of all the departments and the individual. While the performance evaluation, they serve as a standard against which the actual performance can be measured and evaluated. Motivation. So they motivate the employees by setting a clear target for them to aim for. Second, the resource allocation. So they develop, they decide where to allocate the resources based on the important objectives. The mission and the objectives are critical elements of the strategic management process because they help define whether the organization is going the mission and how it plans to get there, the objectives. So they provide a unifying focal point for the organization and help to guide the decision making at all the levels. Now let's move to the second step of the strategic management process, that is strategic analysis. Somewhere it is called as a situational analysis, sometimes referred to as an internal and external analysis, which is a crucial step in the strategic management process. It allows a company to understand its current context to develop effective strategies. Situation analysis generally involves evaluating both the internal and the external factors. So the internal analysis, this involves evaluating the organization, the internal environment, and including its resources, capabilities, and the core competencies, which allows an organization to understand its strength and weaknesses. While the resources, these includes the company physical, financial, and the human resources. While the capabilities, the company can do these based on its resources, processes, and the past experiences. Core competencies are basically, these are the unique capabilities which give a company a a competitive advantages in its industry. So this technique such as the resource based review, that is RBV, which is a value chain analysis approach, can be used to perform the internal analysis. Now let's move to the external analysis. This involves evaluating the factors outside the organization that could affect the performance, including opportunities and threats in its industries and the broader environment. Now, let's move to the industry analysis. This involves examining the competitive forces in a company industry. Tools like a Porter's five forces model can be useful here. This model, considering the competition among existing firms, potentials, new entrants, substitute products or services, suppliers' bargaining power, and the customers' bargaining power, like pestle analysis. This is the analysis which is used to broaden the macro environmental factors that can impact the organization. It considers the political, economical, social, technological, and the environmental and legal factors. Number one, the opportunity and threats, which is based on the industry and the pestle analysis, where the organization can identify the opportunities, environmental conditions that could benefit the company if leveraged properly, and threats, where the condition that could hinder the company's performance. So the situation analysis or the strategic analysis results are often summarized in a SWOT analysis, where the strength, weaknesses, opportunity matrix are incorporated. The SWOT analysis help create the strategies that align with the company's strengths and opportunities and address its weaknesses and threats. Third step, now strategic formulation. Strategy formulation is the third step in the strategic management process and one of the most critical stages during this step, because the strategies are developed to determine the direction in which the organization should head based on its mission, objectives, and the analysis of its internal and the external environments. So the key activities during the strategy formulation stage often include the number one, first, identifying the strategic alternatives. Several strategic alternatives can be considered based on the SWOT or pestle analysis. This could involve entering the new market, launching new products, alliances with the other firms, and the cost leadership differentiation or focus strategy. Second, the strategy evaluation, where each alternative is evaluated based on the feasibility, suitability, and the acceptability. So, the feasibility analysis checks whether the organization has the necessary resources and capabilities to implement the strategy. So the suitability analysis checks whether the strategy would be help the organization to achieve its objective. The acceptability analysis checks whether the strategy is acceptable to the stakeholders. Third, choosing a strategy. One or more strategies are determined based on the evaluation, and this choice must consider the external competitive environment and the company's internal capabilities and resources. The fourth step is developing the strategic plan. This detailed plan lays out the chosen strategy and how it will be implemented. It includes defining the strategic objectives, tactics, timelines, resource allocations, roles, and responsibility. So the strategy formulation requires a clear understanding of the organization missions and the objectives, a comprehensive analysis on its internal and external environment, a good measure of the foresight about the future market trends and changes. So the last fourth step is the strategy implementation, which is the most important step of the strategic management process. Why? Because it involves putting the developed strategies into action. It is a stage where the planning meets the executions, although it comes after the strategy formulation. It is often considered the most challenging step in the strategic management process. Here, the key aspects involved in the strategy implementation process. Now, let's move to discuss. The first one is mobilizing resources. At this stage, the necessary resources, financial, human, material, are allocated to support the strategy. This may involve securing the funding, hiring or training staff, or investing in new facilities or equipment. Second, establishing the organizational structure, where the organization structures may need to be adjusted to facilitate the strategy implementation. So this could involve creating the departments or the teams, changing reporting relationships, or developing new roles. Now, Third, executing strategic plans. So the specific action outlined in the strategic plan are executed, and these include the launching new products or services, entering the new markets, or initiating the new processes, setting the performance metrics to track the progress and ensure the strategy is moving the organization towards its objective. Key performance indicators are established. So these metrics provide a way to measure the success and identify the areas for adjustment. Fifth, monitoring the progress. Strategy implementation is not a set it or forget it process. It is basically the regular monitoring which is essentially ensure the action which have intended effect to identify the necessary adjustments. So this might involve the regular reporting meetings or reviews. Now, let's move to the next, change management. So, strategy implementation often involves the change, and managing this change is a critical aspect of this step. So, this might involve the clear communication about why the changes are being made and what they involve and how they will benefit the organization. Additionally, providing the training and support helps the employees to navigate the changes can also be a key aspect of this stage. Fifth step is strategic evaluation and control, which involves the continuous assessment of the progress toward the achieving the strategic objectives and determining if the implemented strategy is meeting the expectations or if the adjustments are needed. Here, the primary elements involved in the phase. Number one, performance measurement. Key performance indicators which defined during the implementation phase measure the strategy's effectiveness. These could be the financial metrics like revenue, profits, return on investment, customer related metrics like customer satisfaction and market share, while the internal process metrics like operational efficiency and the product quality, or learning and the growth metrics like employee satisfaction, training effectiveness, etc. And the next second is comparing the actual versus the expected result. So the organization actual performance as indicated by the KPIs and which is compared further with the expected results or the targets. So this comparison helps to identify any deviation from the plans and understand their causes. Third, identifying the deviation. If there are the significant deviation from the expected result, it is important to understand why these have occurred. Deviation could be due to the changes in the external environment like market conditions, competitions, and advanced technology upgradations, or internal factors like a resource availability and execution issues. And the last, taking corrective action, which is based on the analysis. Corrective actions are taken, and this could involve making the minor adjustment to the strategy or its implementation, or it could require a major overhaul if it is not delivering the desired result. And the last step of the strategic management process is what? That is feedback and adjustment, which ensuring the strategies remain relevant and effective in a dynamic business environment. This process is often considered the final step, but it is a part of an ongoing cycle. Is the key element of this phase. Number one, feedback. This involves collecting the information about the company's performance and the strategy effectiveness. The feedback could come from a variety of sources, including employees, customers, stakeholders, market research, or the performance metrics defined during the strategy implementation phase. Analysis. The feedback is then analyzed to identify the trends, the opportunities, and the improvement and the potential issues. So the organization examine what's the working well and what's not, whether the goals are being met and whether the strategy is still aligned with the company's missions and the objectives. Third, the adjustment. Based on the feedback and the analysis, the company then make a necessary adjustment to the strategy or its implementation. So this could involve the fine tuning certain tactics, reallocating resources, changing processes, or in some cases redefining the strategy entirely. And the last important, communication. Any changes of the strategy or its implementation are then communicated to the relevant stakeholders. This ensures everyone in the organization understand the changes and why they were made, which is a crucial for effective implementation. And the last is continuous monitoring, which understand After the adjustments are made, the company continues the monitor performance and to collect the feedback, creating a continuous improvement cycle. So this is ongoing process which helps ensure the strategy stays relevant and effective in a changing business environment. So the feedback and the adjustment phase emphasis that the strategic management is not a static one-time process but a dynamic ongoing cycle. It allows the organization to be agile and responsive, adopting its strategies to achieve its goals and objectives in a constantly evolving business landscape. I hope you like this video. For more such videos, please do like, subscribe and share Technia TV. Thank you so much.